Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, traders. This is your weekly recap, looking at week ending on the end of October. Now, one thing you'll notice with October is a lot of professional traders out there call it Rocktober. That's right, Rocktober. And the reason why they call it Rocktober is because it is so volatile. And as you see in the last month, it has been very, very volatile. So let's see if we can go into November looking for some much more smooth volatility. So it's much more easier on you and also myself in the live trading room to pick some good trades. Just because the volatility is big doesn't mean you can't pick good trades. And I give a shout out to all my trading room members that are listening right now. Well done, you've stepped up to the plate. And once again, we picked up a really good trade on Toll and also BHP last week. We made some very nice profits on those stocks. So well done for stepping up. So let's have a look at the XAO for the first stock. XAO, you can see that we've had a nice big run down. Came down through here and then had a big step down through here. Let's have a look at what's happened really in the last week. Last week you can see it's actually broke down and then came back up through here. Now if I just scroll my bar back here, you can actually see what I was looking at last week. Let me just scroll back this forward a bit more. And what I was looking at last week, I was looking at this here. This huge double bottom through here. So what I do when I do my analysis, I like to leave my trend lines on the chart. So when I leave my trend lines on the chart, I can see what's going on. So also, what I like to do is I also like to leave trend lines not just horizontal, but parallel trend lines. Let me show you for example. Up the top here, you can see there's a bit of a peak up here. So all I'm doing is I'm just going to go to the top here and draw a bit of a trend line down through there. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And then secondly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what formations are in the chart. See this? See one bottom, two bottom. This is a double bottom. This is a pretty big reversal. If I scroll this forward, and now looking at this, if I just grow this trend line through here, click on this trend line, and all I do is going to pick up probably this peak through here. See a bit of a peak through there? And if I pick up that peak through there, there we go, just right through there. And if I open up my chart a bit more, you can clearly see I hit that top there, top there, hit the top of that range there, and came down. Now let's have a look what's going on now. We can see the market had a big, what we have here is a double bottom. Market broke down and found a V reversal here. This is called a V reversal because you can see market ran down, and if you have a look at it, it came down and it came back up. This is called a V reversal. Okay, much more detail spent in the live trading room, but that's called a V reversal bottom. So you can see the market's actually closed above this double bottom support line here and closed above this trend line, which has been keeping this downward trend in check for quite some time now. So that's actually quite a bullish signal. Now, if we look at the S&P, this is the S&P here, and the S&P is sort of doing the same thing, but it hasn't actually broken out of its trend line. Let me show you what I mean here. If I go to the top here and draw my trend line down, you can actually see on Friday, the last day of trading in October, it actually went to the top and actually hit the top and then went down. So that's actually finding resistance there. What we also can see here is this: one top, two top, and if we also see that that's a bottom, and if we draw a trend line through here, you also can see that this is now making what we have here is a top and a top. This is now a double top in price. Not only is the S&P at a double top in price, double bottom in price as well, it's also coming down and forming this resistance trend line coming down through there. So it's actually very interesting to see, because right now, if we look at it, we actually can see it really is just going over or sideways. If I just draw a trend line through there and also through there, you can see it's just basically over or sideways now. But I do say that the Australian market has already broken above that. Now, if I go look at the Dow Jones chart, and I'm going to collectively put all these charts together and make a formal decision of where I think the market might go this week, based on what the charts are telling me. So I go to the top and go down to the bottom. Okay, so that's all I can see right now from there. If I go from the top here and go down the bottom through there, okay, something through there, I'd say there'd be something going on through there. Okay, and there we go. So you can see resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, finally broke through and then came up. But the interesting thing is this, let's just delete all those trend lines, is this. We have a bottom through here, but notice this bottom through here is actually lower, low. We had a bottom through here, and then we had the double bottom. Okay, so we had the double bottom through here, and the market took off. Now remember on the Aussie market had a double bottom through here and then came down. So the US market has came down a lot more than what the US market has. Because notice here's the double bottom up here, and then the market came down. The double bottom was the same place over here. Double bottom was, but the Australian market has came down where the US market hasn't came down that much. But overall, if you're looking at the bigger picture, you notice that the US market has come down a lot more than the Australian market. So looking at that, we can see that there's a bit of a nice resistance going on through there right now. This is on the Dow chart here, okay? So you can see we've had a nice resistance through here as well. And notice it's actually broken up. Now I do say this: if we do get the Dow actually breaking above this 9,500 mark, 9,500, I believe that we could actually get to say the 10,000, just below the 10,000 mark. Now if that happens, we're going to have the S&P break above. Remember what we saw before? The trend line. This trend line through here, it's going to break above the trend line and start creating a break above this 10,000 resistance line. If it starts creating a break at 10,000 resistance line, we're likely to run to the 1,000 line. A break above the 1,000 line, and we're likely to run to around about this level right here. Okay. So it's about 50 points to the upside on the S&P. That's where we're likely to run to, and that's where the next major resistance is. Well, so a lot of upside if it does continue to break up. And so in saying that, looking at the Dow, looking at the S&P, and now looking at the Australian market, we can see that once again, if this does break, if the market keeps running up, and we keep this in check where this market's actually find support here, I can see 4,200 mark, probably around about there somewhere, being in play very, very shortly. But being on a conservative side, I could probably see this sort of halfway between, say, 4,000 and 4,200, say 4,000 sort of 100. I reckon we could see that if the market starts to push up on the US, the S&P breaks up, the Dow breaks up, and also if that happens, we can see the Australian market have a nice run. Now, I do believe there is an actual voting going on in the election going on in the US, and I do believe this. I do believe when the election is over, we're going to have a rally to the upside. Okay, when the election is over and someone's been picked and someone's been chosen, I believe a rally to the upside will come in place. So make sure you watch out for that, and make sure you checked it out. So it hasn't happened yet. Right now we're at the end of October, as you can see here. But that's what I believe. Have a good week. Have a fantastic week. Come and check us out in the trading room. You won't regret it. And also make sure you look after yourself and your final future. Okay, traders. Bye for now. Trade in the stock market is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee your profit from the information provided. The information in these videos is meant for educational purposes only. That being said, I've been trading the market profitably for many, many years. So please, do your own homework and make sure you look after your current financial situation.